What's up, Bobby? Should be streaming. Let me know if that's not the case. I think everything's working. I think. Maybe. Yeah, I think y'all can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Please. Got you with sound. Man, that makes me happy when I get it right-ish for once. How's everybody doing? Who wants to call? Anybody want to call in and talk and share their tank and see what's going on? Because you totally can. What's up, Savage? Hey, Savage. Oh, yeah, that hair's getting fancy, right? This is old school hair, by the way. This is the way my hair used to look. Way long time ago. Way long time ago. Sound is working. So I think I got that. I think I got the multi-guest sound thing figured out. Mok-Yi and my kid helped me test the other day, and everything seemed to be working pretty well. So if any of y'all feeling froggy, hit me up, because I'll bring you in on Zoom. I'll send you the link. You can DM me on Instagram, or hell, I'll post it here, which is risky. And then we can go from there. If you want. I was looking up hot air rework stations. Who is that? Louis Rossmann over on YouTube. That guy's funny. He does a lot of Mac and mostly Mac repairs, but he also does some iPhone stuff. I was watching him. I have been watching him for years, and he's sassy. If Travis from Fish a Hex went into motherboard repair and recording such activities, right to repair, that's what it would sound like. So now you know what's up with Louis. Check him out. What's up, Taylor? And from Sydney. I like that. What I want to get into a little rework. I want to get into a little, not just rework, but maybe placing LED chips themselves. Hamada, what's up? And because I want to... Uh-oh. I'm going to shut this door. Yeah, that's a little better. That's interesting. Yep, I can see it. Y'all know I've talked about LEDs before, and I've talked about DIY LEDs like that. That's the Blue Sensei Mark III. Should I put Mark III on there? I should. But a nice little LED. 4 lamp. Looks pretty sweet, right? It's built on a Rapid LED puck that I think I showed last week. You can go on their site and check those things out. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a little enclosure for that thing. Something that anybody could put together and anybody could create their own light if that's what they wanted to do. And you can put any color in here. This can be, you want me to make a fuge light? I can make a fuge light. And it's super bright and super cheap. And you could assemble it yourself. But what I want to do is there's 4 LEDs on there. and they're all 450 nanometers, which is 50% of the awesome of a Reef Bright. So what I like to do is take 2 of those little guys off of there, right there, and make them 470s. So then I'd have 2 450s and 2 470s, which is a baby Reef Bright that is super small and super bright. Just to play with. Gives me something to do. Thanks for the shout out for the chat. I think it's handy having it up there. I talked about that last week, I think, or the week before. It's handy to have it there, so we can replay, we can look, we can see who comes and goes. Hamada, what I want to do is I'm going to set up a couple cameras, and I can do a couple cameras. Here, I can do this. Let me try this. Let's see if this works. Oh yeah, it's totally going to work. So if I do this, I can use Zoom or whatever. Oh, look, there's my shred pile. See, I got work to do. And there's my kid came up here with his old Xbox to play on this monitor. But I can use Zoom. Yeah, Jim Bright. We're gonna look. We're sticking with the Blue Sensei for now. Kim came up with a name first, so we're just gonna stick with it. But I can use Zoom on a second phone or whatever to capture tutorials. Jim Bright. No, that suggests that I know what I'm doing, and I just make it up as I go along. I can show you the trash can of dead parts. So what I could do is, using this camera, I could show how I cut goodies on the laser cutter. I could show the monitor. That would show, what are you sipping on there? What's up, Carlos? I could show how I design the parts, how I get to where I get. But this is super easy to make. It's threaded together. It's layered acrylic. The clear on the bottom glows. The edges glow, and it's super pretty. Those little pucks that I talked about last week or week before, they don't need a heat sink, but because I'm covering it up, I wanted to put a heat sink on there. Plus, if we're going to call it the Blue Sensei, you might as well have a blue heatsink, right? That's what I was playing with today. I think that's coming out kind of slick. I need to figure out how to clean the bottom up. I'm not done there yet. But if you're interested in this kind of thing, and you just want to play with the light, and you need an acrylic body for the light, hit me up. I can hook you up. Let's see. Have you played around with putting your lights at angles? I thought about putting 3 lights over a reef and having it rise from one end of the tank. This is Fragile Reefer. Set on the other side of the tank. Like sunrise, sunset kind of thing? Is that what you're asking? Because some folk play like that a little bit already in the lighting space, which is kind of cool. I'm kind of psyched with how this is coming out, right? I mean, it looks kind of slick. This is, so this isn't actually, it would totally light that Pico. Right now, that's what happened? Did the meeting go away? No, the meeting's still there. What's up? Oh, there we go. See, I screwed things up. This is a nano box. Which fits perfectly over this little guy, right? There's boxes that we've talked about. I was playing with one of those Mitras lights this morning, getting it dialed in for AB+. That'll probably be my next video. But I could use, you could absolutely use this light because it's that bright over, as long as you like blue, over a 3-gallon like that. By the way, that's Mighty Nanotank's clown swimming around in there that I'm holding until it's time to ship. You know, over at Camp Jimbo. Yeah. I would buy a Jim Bright for sure. I'm using it like I did with the other Blue Sensei, which is just a target light, just to color up corals, just to add par to the edge of the tank, right? If you have some lights over top of the tank, but you have some coral on a frag rack that's on the edge of the tank, these little guys, because they're cheap and they're super bright and they color up corals like crazy, right? A lot of us already trust Reef Brights. I have 3 of them. Good lights. I know what kind of light. We already talked about it. I know what light they're putting out. So it's easy enough to replicate and turn it into a different form factor and make it usable, I think, for a different purpose. So that's kind of cool. That's what I was playing with. That was today. Other things. I talked a little bit about this thing. Yeah, are there other benefits to extra UV, or was there any benefit to extra UV lights? What's up, Brandon? How much, Savage, how much to make what? How much to make this light? For me, it's just materials. So far, it's pretty cheap. Yeah. Brandon, I'll come back to you. So on the other light, on the other Blue Sensei that I have, which is a 12 LED array, laser cut layered acrylic, it just has a small acrylic stand mount that screws into 2 screws here, which makes it really easy to hold. But yeah, you could retrofit any kind of mount you want onto this thing, and I could adapt to damn near any mount that's available in retail. So it's easy enough to do. It kind of comes down to preference. I think I'd prefer a little slide mount myself, and I think I'd probably make that out of either telescoping aluminum, or I'd just make it out of slide acrylic with little wing nuts on there. That way I can move the light up and down based on whatever coral I've put underneath that thing. Brandon, back to your UV question. I don't know. I know what lights are putting out UV. I can tell you those GHLs put out legit UV, and not every light does. Kessel does, GHL does. You really don't see it much in any other lights that I'm aware of, like legitimate below 400 nanometer UV. Regarding the benefit, I don't know. Kessel people will swear by it, I'm sure. So this is the work tank. I thought we'd talk about this for a little bit. Back up front, what I'm sipping, Carlos. I'm sorry, man. I got a little white. And it's really good, and I'm gonna have to go down and get the bottle. This little tank right here. YouTube delay. I thought you did an experiment with a strip Brandon, a strip. No, I don't think so. I have. I kind of got chicken of 400 nanometers and below when I was running. Actually, I still am. That's probably one of the next pictures. That 400 nanometer DJ, supposedly UV, but not UV, flood. It's like a 50-watt flood. And it killed the crap out of Space Invaders. The Space Invaders did not react positively to that light at all. I can tell you that 400 nanometers is the lowest spectrum light I have over the frag tank. And y'all have seen the colors of that tank. The Radions aren't doing that. And Reef Bright's not doing that because that's 450, 470. The Orphic, the lowest it gets is 410. And that's probably just a couple diodes at 410. But I have these little 10 watt. One of them is, and I showed them before, one of them's 380. There's a little 380 chip on board diode, and this is a 385. And really two purposes for buying these. I want to make a little light out of them, and I have a not up here. I have a heat sink. Oh, I could use one of these little blue guys. I could use this little blue heat sink. And when you order 3 of them, what you really get is 3 4-packs, so I didn't do that math right. So I got a whole. Anybody want any lights? I can make some LEDs. I wanted to make a little. I want to see if I can get mushrooms to bubble, because I think I can. Because there's some stories out there of people getting some mushrooms to do some fun, as long as you give them a little bit of UV. So maybe So that's what I wanted to try with these. I don't know, man. I could fit one of these on one of these blues. So I can't fit 2. Maybe I can fit 2. Maybe if I cut them down a little bit. Something to try. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know about value of UV. I know Ecotechs don't have UV, like at all. They have some violet. So, I mean, there's a whole lot of people out there successful with UV or ATI Blue Plus T5s, no UV there. Just some really good blue. I talk too much lights, don't I? That's kind of what I like to do. The light went out. No more light. I don't know. Ben got himself another clown, so he can have this clown when his tank is finally ready, and he can have that clown. They can make little clown babies. So again, if anybody wants to call in, walk through their tank a little bit, have a little chat, I'd be happy to talk stuff. If you have any questions, like I said, happy to talk some stuff. Work tank. So that's a Luma Magic Blaze X Mini, and it works well enough. It provides plenty of power to this. This is a 15 tall that I converted into an all-in-one. If you watched Reef Dude's video, this tank's probably about a year old now. He just did a similar thing to an ATO reservoir that he had laying around, a spare. So this worked out pretty well. So overflow through some media. I think this is a Seachem Matrix that I put in a bag in here. And then there's a pump on the other side. The heaters are on the other side, and it flows back out through a little nozzle, a little jet nozzle. This tank, like I said, it's been running for a while. It's got a whole bunch of cool softies over here. Buddy Shane gave me back a coral that I had shared with him a long time ago, and it's sitting here. I think his dad was growing it in his tank. It's sitting here on a big old rock. I got some other weird softy thing here that ended up growing up the wall a little bit. I have the Monty from the Baltimore National Aquarium sitting right here. That has continued to grow in this tank, so much so that I had to increase the internal magnet, the size of that thing. And then just recently, back here is a frog spawn. And just recently I created this little rockscape to sit in there. And then now this tank has its very first acro. What's up, Mok-Yi? If you get bored and you want to call in, let me know. I know you were cooking, right? Savage, you should call me, man, and you should tell me how cool your all-in-one with an overflow to a frag tank works. Over here, I've got some zoas because I can't grow that crap in my frag tank. They're not happy. And I have something else from Ben, which stings the crap out of everything. I can't remember what it was, and a little leather here from the Baltimore Aquarium as well. I thought we'd just do a little. Is the new scape wet? I thought we'd just do a little system update thing. This closet. This is where I test freaking everything. I already talked about the blue sensei that's sitting right here. That's how low it is on the tank. I don't know if anybody really... Mok-Yi, if you're going to call in, I can send you the... I think I probably have updated information. Let me know. The blue sensei sits super low on the tank, which is what I'm wanting to do with this, right? It's just a color up light. It's a target light. It's a add more par to a specific part of your tank kind of light. So that's what's sitting here. This is the DJ 400 nanometer light that I talked about. That is a 50 watt flood. That's going to go away. And then this is an XR30 Gen 2. There is another one on the other side, XR30 Gen 2. It's all mounted together on a 10 millimeter extruded aluminum frame. I talked about that before. Maker beam. Makes it really easy to assemble if you're old like me and you know erector sets. Please hold. I must think and type a little bit. Share. Anybody else want this information while I'm in here? Because I will share it with you if you would like. How did I send that to you? Please hold. Talk amongst yourselves. 6, I can hear my neighbors outside talking. This is some sweet live action. Hey. F. Okay, I texted it to you, dude, talking about this. And then also on the side is the Orphic OR2 Blue Plus, which is a beautiful bar that puts out really good light. Also is the Reef Bright. So Reef Bright smack dab in the center because it does. Let me bring this guy in, and I'm gonna have to move these pictures down a little bit, and I am going to admit, and I am going to close. I'm gonna scooch this over. I'm gonna put my headphones on. Hey, can you hear me? Not sure you can hear me.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was turning off the videos I was afraid I'm gonna get like a feedback or something.
Yep,
How's
no
this?
worries. Oh no, you sound good. I think you sound good. Everybody gives me a
Excellent.
thumbs up.
Here's a thumbs up.
There's your thumbs up. So I'm gonna put you right there. So I've got you. I've got the stunt cam.
We going fancy. We going fancy today.
Yeah, we'll see if this kicks me out. And then and we're good to go. What'd you have for dinner?
I did pasta. I
Did
did
you?
pasta with tomato sauce, but with fish.
Oh, that no, I've done that before.
Have you?
I've done that with halibut. Or
Okay.
no, I've done it with mahi mahi.
Oh, mahi mahi is nice. Well, I did cod. First of all, I almost never cook. Like I never cook. I just look around, see what we got going on, and Emily was like, hey, you have to cook today. I'm like, fine, don't regret it. So we got pasta, we got tomato sauce. I wish we have like cream sauce. Apparently we did, but I did not notice. So we just tossed some tomato sauce on, and she looked at it. She's like, Emma. She was teasing. She was teasing. She was teasing. I thought it tasted okay.
Come on, Savage. Call in, buddy. I see you. What time is it there? It's probably pretty late. 5 hours ahead, right? I was just walking through the batch crazy that is my closet.
Oh, nice.
So what I had shared was DJ Light 2XR30 Gen 2s, Reef Bright, and I had just gotten on the Reef Bright when you joined in. And then this Orphic bar down here that you probably can't see. I'm pointing to a whole bunch of stuff, but you can't see it.
You know
But
what? I can look at the YouTube video actually.
All right.
I can see it. I can see it. Yeah.
Okay. So I was just talking about how I have the Reef Bright right in the middle because it floods so well compared to the other bar lights. It's a nice, even flood. It sort of cascades down very nicely, where the other ones are more directed, and they're certainly brighter. They're like twice the par. But that Reef Bright floods so nice, so it illuminates that whole tank evenly. 1 a.m. Savage says it's 1 a.m. And then he had pasta and sausage instead of fish. This is the backup battery control unit. This is what my solar connects into. The batteries are down here underneath these tubs, and this is my UPS. So this gives me solar during the day to outlets that are down here below this XR30 power supply, and then it gives me power at night from city power or batteries if I need it, like a normal UPS. Over on this side is the GHL stuff just off this picture. And then here is this is the 5.5 Fuge. So this is the very top of the system. So gravity feed from this to this, gravity feed from this to the sump of the other tank, the display, and then this is all the mess that I need to really get in there and clean up. But what I did share was, those lights over there, I was playing with the Mitris this morning. I had it hanging next to an XR30 Gen 4. So I was measuring spectrum of the Gen 4 and the spectrum of the Mitris and getting it dialed in.
Oh, how do you like that light so far? The
I like
Mitris.
it's nice. I want to get it over the tank to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
But the light looks great. Like to my eye, having both lights side by side, turn one off, on, whatever. It's good. It looks nice.
I'm curious about the spread
Yep.
because I think like some people mentioned that it has like a T5 look. It's really even.
It looks pretty flat on the floor, right? You don't see anything interesting. But this is the little card I need to put in the P4. I'm not going to open this up because it's ESD sensitive, but this is a little card I have to put in the P4 to make the P4 talk to the lights.
I see.
So that's in the GHL ecosystem. Nothing I have to add from external. But right now the light's plugged into my computer in the closet, and I'm working it through USB.
It's kind of interesting too. Like even when hooking a light up to the GHL, you have to install a card.
Yep.
versus plugging it in or talking wirelessly.
So I was trying to think about all other controllers have to have. Well, eCoral can't do it at all wirelessly. It can only control 0 to 10, so it can't program a light.
Okay.
Apex, if it worked, it's still broken. It's supposed to be coming tomorrow.
Oh man. Okay, but you got. Did you tell people like the number of things that's coming or?
No, well,
Okay.
I don't know what's in that box.
Yeah,
So
I'm curious too.
my assumption, I'm not going to get excited. My assumption is it's just another EL that they found somewhere.
Yeah.
BRS didn't have any ELs in stock, so I don't know what's in that box. So I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe like EL on one package, the second package is like the cable, the plug.
I have no idea what's coming. Now you can't. How do you program lights with a Neptune, with an Apex? You got to add a thing, right? And then you could talk to old school Radions. They have a box. So instead of the box from Neptune, GHL has their own little tiny card that you stick inside their controller, and then you're good to go.
God.
But
And
it talks to their lights.
But is it done? So it's not done wirelessly. You still need a cable going into the
Nope.
controller.
No, it's wireless from there. That's what this card adds.
I see.
The capability of the P4 to talk to the Mitras.
That's cool.
Natively, yeah. This is pretty much it. These are the dosing lines. I dose some stuff into the Fuge, and then I dose some stuff over here into the frag tank. WXM, thank you, Carlos. That's what, but WXM only works with Ecotech, and it only works with Ecotech prior to Mobius firmware. Is that correct? Do we know if WXM works with Mobius firmware? I would suspect no. Always my favorite is the Inkbird hanging off right here. This is my backup heater,
nice.
Just in case I lose my primary heater. Lots of heater stories going around lately.
Oh boy.
I'm absolutely a fan of Inkbird, even with the 1 degree hysteresis, and then pairing that with a Finex. Typically, I will use Finex with. Thanks, Carlos. I didn't think so. I use the Finex with the heater controller on there, so then I have 2 levels of failsafe. That's kind of it in that closet. Can you see? Yeah, you can see this. This is the display. What's up?
Sorry, I was wondering about the Blue Sensei. I think you kind of touched on it before. Did you show the new version or is version 2?
You haven't seen it.
I have not seen that. Is that the blue heat sink that you ordered?
That's the blue heat sink.
Yeah, that thing is sleek.
It's clean, right?
Can we see the other side?
Yeah. The other side I'm still working on to clean it up. And what I want to do is these are 450 nanometer LEDs, and I want to put 2 470s on there. Then that'll give me the Reef Bright spectrum that everybody loves. But I don't have a hot rework station, so right now I'm just going to keep it 450. But it's starting to look clean. I need to clean up the underside, figure out what to do there. But it looks kind of slick. And that
is nice.
And you see that clear there? That clear glows blue when it's on. So something to consider is Rapid LEDs ships this in a red. So you can get a red chip as well. A red puck. So Fuge light. And that's how big your Fuge light is, right? I mean, it's tiny.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's super bright. What
are those 4 little knobs at the underside? Are they just a screw?
What's that?
Screw covers? There's like 4 knobs at the
underside. Those are screws. So they're.
Yeah, I thought you may be using it as a stand legs or something like that, but they're just
kind of like the Blue Sensei. The Blue Sensei is held together the same way, and it is literally nylon screws. Let me put it someplace where you can see it there.
Yep.
With a castle nut that you can't see.
Nice. Got it.
So you can cut these with diagonal cutters. You cut that screw with diagonal cutters, and then you make it any length you want, and then poof, you're done. So what I said before you joined was that I can.
Yeah, it is.
They want. There's a couple people, AZ, Savage, whatever. They want to call it the Jim Bright, but that's sort of suggesting that I'm smart, which is not the case. I just whatever. I learn from my mistakes sometimes. But yeah, it's kind of slick, right?
Yeah, that looks nice.
So I could personalize it. I could put people's names in this black.
Oh, I'm curious how you're gonna mount that.
Kind of like the Blue Sensei still down here. The Blue Sensei has a just an acrylic mount. So what I want to do with this is the same kind of thing, but with a slide. So you have a couple wing nuts on there, and you can slide it up and down based on, because you want to start it up a little higher because it's pretty bright. If you're going to use this for a target light, and then slide it down as your corals become acclimated. So just physical acclimation.
The sleek, I like it.
Kind of cool. I like the way it looks. It looks good. You turn it on, it's really bright. You can't look at that thing. It's super bright. Display. You're one of the few people who have seen my my display. It's a little busier now than I posted a picture today on Instagram that shows this little section really well.
Oh, I saw it. All the acans.
Yeah, the acans are super puffy and happy. Now, I did check my my phosphate today, and it's back up to 0.11. So I increased my lanthanum chloride dose a little bit to bring it back down. What I had seen was a little bit of my Chaeto it looks like the Chaeto has pulled back a little bit. It's not as full as it was in the Fuge. So I don't know what that is. Nothing else has changed.
It looks amazing. There's now a big gap in the middle back. What are you gonna do with that space?
So there's oh crap.
The bottom looks fantastic though from the photos.
This is all getting pretty full in here, and this got dug out by that stupid engineer Gobi. All of this is empty right now underneath this rock. So as I learned from the Gobi, I just have to add more rock underneath my corals, like this big piece right here. That's one big old coral, but I just add rocks underneath with gel super glue, so it stands up off of the glass. Setosa. That's a red Setosa right there that I'm hoping gets a little big, but all of this is shadowed from the overflow. So there's not a lot of light back there at all.
You may have to
Go ahead. What's up?
So you may have to build some kind of structure that kind of come out from under the overflow.
So that I could, but that's your Space Invader, and your Space Invader's kind of, or this is my Space Invader, your old Space Invader, your Space Invader's back here. That's a big piece, that's a nice big centerpiece, and I'd like for it to slowly fill in this whole thing.
Oh,
that would be kind of neat if that got big.
Yeah.
These are all tenuous up here. That's a green tenuous. That's the cherry bomb that's getting freaking huge. This is one of the old Walt Disneys that's starting to grow and be happy. And then there's a blue-green tenuous hanging off the side. You can't see any of this because I'm pointing to the wrong thing.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. When
Setosa, Space Invader, Mok-Yi Space Invader's back here behind this Monty.
That guy's happy.
Cherry bomb here, green tenuous here, Walt Disney, old Walt Disney here, blue-green tenuous here. This is Ben's gold torch that I haven't killed yet, which I'm pretty happy about. And then some older, bigger pieces. If anybody needs some chalice that you have room to place it so it's not near anything else, because it'll kill the crap out of anything. This is the Pink Floyd chalice up here on the frag rack, and I have a whole bunch of those, so hit me up. And then this is the Langsai Monty growing up on top of the overflow.
Oh, those are beautiful. The purple rim.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool coral. Yeah. I like that a lot. So if anybody's, not too many people have seen this, but it's two MP10s, both running Mobius, and a Gen 4 XR30 over top, also running Mobius. I talked about the National Aquarium Monty in the other tank. This is a big devil's hand leather from the aquarium
wow.
as well. This whole thing.
Is there a reason you mounted that leather all the way up top versus like where they typically are in bottom tank?
This is on the bottom. It's on the maybe the video hasn't caught up yet, but it is on the bottom.
Okay. Yeah,
It's,
you're circling the top.
sorry,
Okay.
it's below your what you're seeing is 30 seconds behind, right?
Got it. I was looking back in the past.
So
You look to the future or present.
that leather is
Got it.
below
I
the
see.
Space Invader.
I was looking at the Green Monty probably when you're circling it. I'm like, okay. Cool. I remember them. What's that thing next to the green letter? It's like bright gold and it's right smack in the middle of the tank.
Something that I got from Artfully Acrylic way back in the day.
That thing is bright.
I don't know if I posted a picture, everybody would know what it is, but I don't know what it is. But it's just a big LPS that eats well, and it's really, really happy. This was Alex's. Alex went, little blonde kid. Alex went with me once, and he picked this out, and it's his brain coral, and he's pretty happy with it. It continues to grow.
Awesome.
I've had those pieces for I don't know 3 years, something like that.
Oh, they grow well. Grow really well.
Okay, and then up here is this is also a chalice that I got from Pacific East a long time ago. That's the one I killed and brought back. Let me look through these real quick. That clear looks like an Orphic plate. Fragile Reefer. You talking about Sensei Mark III? That clear there? Yeah. It's not beveled like the Orphic. That Orphic glass is beautiful, but yeah, something like that. Good eye. Looks awesome. Mok-Yi new light for the budget tank. Oh, that. So Taylor King asked about the Reef Sensei and your the Blue Sensei and your budget tank, but that tank's coming down, right?
That tank is coming down. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I feel like I may set up 1 or 2 other tanks, so I may have to hit you up at some point.
You got some room down there.
Yeah. I'm trying to go slow. I'm afraid I'm going to get overwhelmed.
I want you to get a big A frag tank and put that thing next to that beautiful display.
Believe me, I thought about it, and I kept trying to stop myself. Like, oh, I don't know.
And then we could plumb it all together, and it would look freaking awesome. And then I could offload all my stuff, and I'd feel better.
Tremendous pressure, because I feel like, oh man, I'm gonna kill everything.
No, it's good, and I have a couple spare lights now. Jim Bright. Savage is still trying to make Savage. You're trying to make Jim Bright happen, like Mean Girls tried to make Fetch happen. Fetch isn't gonna happen, brah. I'm not sure Jim Bright's gonna happen either.
Jim Bright actually got a nice ring to it.
Yeah, but Reef Bright. I don't want to. No, I'm not playing in Reef Bright space.
Yeah.
They're good. They're solid. I don't want to. I'm not mooching off that name.
Yep. Blue Sensei is good.
Blue Sensei doesn't mess around with anybody else's trademarks.
Right.
And I respect those. I respect Reef Bright. I think they make a nice unit. But if it doesn't work, we'll forever be Jim broke. Jim. That's true, AZ. Jim breaks a lot of stuff, but that's okay. That's why I have 2 more of these UV LED chips.
But hey, you fix it. You can fix it.
Or I fry them and throw them out and get another one. Carlos, send one over here, Blue Sensei. So, Carlos, you want a Blue Sensei, Carlos? I can hook you up. You want it to be Reef Bright colored or just regular old 450? How's Mok-Yi's clam? Mok-Yi's clam is a pain in the ass. Dude, your clam is a pain in the ass.
What's it doing?
It moves around. I got it pinned in the corner right now with some frag plugs, but it scooches around.
Is he spinning in place or is he actually like moving?
I use 3 plugs strategically placed that it can't jump over when it goes, and so now it has taken to just rotating.
Oh man, did he spray water yet for you guys? Like he'll close real fast and like squirt some water out.
Yeah, because I'll stop the tank, I'll stop the pumps so I could feed or take a look at the corals or whatever. Then there's this big, if I put my hand in the wrong place, whoosh, and then water comes, whatever.
Isn't clam awesome?
The clam is cool. When's your
Clams are
tank
awesome.
ready so you can have your clam back? I saw you put what you put. You put that big pink or that big leather in the 135, right?
Yeah, the leather was the first thing in, and I was kind of nervous about it, but I figured, okay, leather, they're pretty tough, right?
Yep.
If things goes wrong, I'll have a little buffer, maybe like a day or two to move it out. But it was so happy. Like I've never seen it so happy.
How's the GHL Mini doing?
It's holding steady. I mean, like honestly, I'm not really putting it to work yet.
Yep.
Using it to just monitor temperature and pH.
How's
And
your
it's rock
pH looking?
steady. I think 7.9 ish, between 7.9 to 8.1.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, that's good. So salinity's where it's supposed to be. The tank is mostly cycled, if not all the way. You got that
Now,
level in there?
salinity I've not checked in a while. I'm
Okay.
guessing it should be where it should be.
But you have the ATO set up and everything, right?
I do. So it should be steady at least.
Okay. So you're in a holding pattern. How long has that tank been wet?
I'll say maybe like 4.5, probably 5 weeks at this point.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe in 2 weeks I can start moving the clowns in. They're a little bit tougher than other fish. I started seeing brown diatom coming up.
Okay.
So I feel like we're well on its way.
Yep. Good. Because I just recently, I don't know that it's going to, you can see it up in that little window, but this thing's got diatoms. Just like last couple days. So I'm pretty happy to see that over there in that tank. Now,
And you cycled it with Dr. Tim's.
no, I cycled it with Dr. Tim's, but I also ran a bag of Seachem Matrix in my sump for 2 months before I put it over there.
Oh, okay.
So theoretically, with a 3-gallon, it should be instant cycled. And I've got a leather in there, and I have a chalice in there, and they're both fine.
Nice.
I just use the water from downstairs. That's how I do water changes in that tank.
Yeah, I think like probably tomorrow I'm gonna move that big old block of Marine Pure block, the big one, like this giant one from the 45
Yep.
to the 135, and that's it. I think with that in, it's gonna find a balance. At least I know I'll have more than enough bacteria.
When are you going to move over some of the living stuff from your sump, from the 45 sump?
That's pretty much it. Like the big block. I'll probably drop the snails in there as well.
Okay.
Macroalgae, I'm just gonna leave it. I don't
Okay.
think I'll mess with those. I'll probably grab as many of the rubles as possible from the 45. I mean, after tomorrow, the 45 is pretty much shut down.
You're getting algae from Top Shelf?
Yes, the drain breath.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, is that
awesome.
Mari? 5701 Mari? Hey guys.
Yep. Hey, Mari. How are you?
Hello. You do realize Mok-Yi's never taking that climb back.
Mok-Yi is so taking that clam back. As soon as that tank proves itself worthy, that freaking clam is going home. And then what?
Would you keep a clam though? Like I know you have an engineer goby on the sand bed, right?
Right.
What about like a Maxima chrysalis that's in the rock? Do you like the clams?
Your clam is cool, but your clam is cool only because it's in the frag tank and it's not going to get sand spit in its face. Because I
Right.
have that engineer, there's no way I could do a clam.
Does he like swim all the way up and then like go off the sand, or does he stay at the bottom?
He takes that sand out from wherever he's getting it. Obviously, he's digging into the core of the earth and getting sand from there. But he
Yeah.
grabs sand and he brings it out and he chucks it all over the tank.
Oh man.
And then I try to put it back where I think I want it, and then it decides that it's going to put it someplace else.
See, you need like a jawfish to compete with him. Like engineer goby spit it this way, jawfish just kind of move back and
Right.
do his thing. There was that online video that was hilarious. I think it was like two jawfish.
I saw it. That's
You
funny.
saw that one, right?
Yep.
It's like throwing sand at each
Throw
other's
it right
bread.
back.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Ice frag that is going to take a year or two to grow out. Have some direct light might help it along. Same exact one you have. What you talking about, Carlos? Carlos said same exact one you have. An ice frag that is going to take a year or two to grow out. Let me know what you're talking about, dude. I'm trying to catch up, but I'm almost done with my wine. So maybe Mok-Yi can pay attention better than I can.
I think the lag really make it a little bit difficult
Yeah, maybe.
to match up the comment versus.
So this tank, everybody remember this tank? You remember this? Remember this 20? Mok-Yi?
I gotta wait for the video to catch up.
Oh, so the totally inappropriate 20-gallon that's hanging off the edge of.
Oh boy.
Oh, same
Okay.
tank. I got you, Carlos.
Yeah, is that 20 still up and running?
It is. So help me, world. I have 2 Hollywood Stunners, and I have 2 or 3 super bright Monties, super bright green, free to good home.
Get it glowing.
You come get them, and I'll leave them. I'll leave them in the driveway, and you come pick them up. You do a little drive-by coral pickup. Anybody, come and get them. They're yours. They're free, and they're really healthy, and they're happy. And then I can take that 20 down. What I don't want to do is I don't want to.
You want to take the 20 down?
Yeah, the 20's coming down.
Okay. I'm surprised. I thought you just like leave it up.
No, it's crap. It's dirty. You can't even see in it. It's so nasty in there. And then every brother of your Bob that has ever existed is living in that 20-gallon right now. So it needs to go. But yeah, if you're close, if you're in the Metro, DC, Baltimore, or whatever the hell area, and you want Hollywood Stunner for free and some super great bright green Monties, come and get them. You can have them. Mari, I'm looking at you.
Hey, Jim. So did you tell them about the 150-gallon tank, the 4-foot by 4-foot lagoon that you're picking up?
I'm not picking that up. That won't fit in my basement. I'd have to move my couch. From what? Supreme Reefs?
Supreme Reefs. That's a nice setup. That's a nice setup. Good price for what it is, I think.
That's huge, and it would be awesome. It would have to sit right in the middle of my basement, and then I'd have to run everything up and over the ceiling to get there.
Wouldn't it fit in that corner where your tank is at currently? Because it turned kind of...
That thing is huge. That's huge.
Well,
that would make my hallway longer. That's what would happen.
I can see you with that tank. I feel like that's your dimension.
90 cube. 90 cube fits in that corner.
90 cube is what, like, is it 30 by 30?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
30. It's not that much different.
I would double my size. I would double my display.
Yeah.
And that would be cool. Then I could get a bigger sump, which would be glorious. Because, right, I don't skim. I have a skimmer in there, but it's just sucking in outside air. I never empty the cup, and it acts like an air stone. That's it. I don't skim. I don't know if I need to. I don't know if I should, since I never have. But
things are happy, so.
Yep. Yeah, everything over in the other tank, stuff is growing fast. Rescaped my tank and made room for some cheap SPS. Mari, by cheap SPS, what you want? Because you'd be helping me out. Oh, here's another picture. Yeah, so this tank, this needs to go because this is a piece of foam that covers up the T5s. And then there's also an Ocean Revive up there. So I've got 2 T5s and an Ocean Revive lighting this tank. It needs to go. That way I get rid of the T5s and the Ocean Revive. And the tank that Mark Levison one day wants to call me out on, which he already has.
He really?
Yeah. He's like, I'll paraphrase. That's basically a lesson waiting to be taught. And I was somewhere around there. What's up, Remy? You in here? What's up? I'm drinking with you guys tonight, spending too much on the zoanthids.com live sale. I am.
Remy's all about the zoas now.
Yeah, Remy is all about the zoas. I can't grow them. I followed his lead, right? He told me to put zoas. We were talking about it and put the zoas in the work tank. They're happy. He was right. He knows what's up. Zoids.com live sales. So I don't like live sales. I don't have the attention span to sit there in front of reef to reef or whatever and refresh and then run over and try to buy it real quick. It just frustrates me. I'd rather just buy it. You ever done that? You ever done a live sale like that, Mok-Yi?
I was going to comment. I have not tried it. I mean, I tried following along ones on Reef to Reef. I think it's either Top Shelf or WWC.
Okay.
But just like you say, you have to like refresh it, scroll down, and think. It's like,
I'd rather just go buy it. I
yeah.
really enjoyed your tour of Top Shelf. That was an impressive tour and super cool that you got to visit once.
Hey, thank you. I mean, it's all credit to them. I mean, I'm pretty much just asking them questions, and they were able to field everything and make the whole thing somewhat concise
Yep.
and
No,
entertaining.
it was good. They're super. I mean, you dropped out a couple times, right? But no biggie. You caught it
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah, so great guys there. Went there about I think 2 years ago. Great experience, like great people and really impressive corals.
Super enthusiastic. That was a great tour.
Yeah,
Hopefully one day I can make it down. We go to Orlando every once in a while. I'd like to go down there and check that out. I haven't seen a big coral farm, or that would be cool.
yeah. Have you seen the? You've been to WWC, right?
Nope.
Oh, you haven't.
Nope.
Okay. Oh man. I don't want to compare them. Like 2 years ago, I did go to both. I went to both. I feel like Top Shelf was a little bit more intimate back then because they had the smaller store. The farm is
Yep.
attached to the store. It's a little bit smaller, but it was impressive. Everything's jamming there.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
let me tell you, when I went to Worldwide Coral, they drove me to their coral farm. You walked in, it's a freaking warehouse. It blew my mind.
That's
It blew
awesome.
my mind. It's a big operation, but I'm sure like if you go down there this time and you get to check them out and come back with a bunch of corals.
Yep, that's what would be fun.
Yeah.
Real quick, before it scrolls off the top of the screen there, I missed it. Fragile Reefer. Looks like he picked up some Monty eating nudibranchs. Not yet. So I have had in the past nudies in my tank, but I have a 6-line in there. And I think the 6-line takes care of all of those bugs. Do you have any experience over that, Mok-Yi?
I have not, but I have had experience with 6-line.
Yep.
Mine was a jerk. You got so mean.
Mine's a jerk, but it's okay with the bigger fish. If I add anything new to the tank, the 6-line gets super pissed. So I don't add any fish. I just keep the ones I have and keep them happy.
Yeah, you're a nicer guy than me. I removed my 6-line.
I would have to take the whole tank apart to get that 6-line. It's just a little guy, right? It's a little fish, but it is constantly hunting and constantly eating. And if you don't have a wrasse, fragile, give it a shot. See if that helps. Or do a little research before you buy, but I think the wrasse will eat those. Like if I buy Bob Eaton nudies, my wrasse will eat those things right up, so I can't keep those in my tank. Let's see. Dragon Breath is a great addition to the Fuge. Carlos has some. That's awesome. I was wondering. So yeah, during that tour, you had me psyched that I was gonna pull out all my Chaeto and put some Dragon's Breath in there and grow it under blue.
Yeah, those are cool. I think they'll be sending me some probably in a week.
Okay.
I'm happy to share a bunch of them.
That's awesome. Looking forward to seeing how that grows out. I bet that'll be a pretty Fuge.
Yeah.
Raphael, problem with a clownfish, and I was wondering if you could help. It has a bump out the side of its body. I sent you an image DMs on Insta. Did I get one and you got one? Thanks for the sub, Raphael. I just saw it. I don't have it. Maybe you have it, Mok-Yi. Oh, wait. Maybe there's a request. Oh, there it is. This is good radio, right?
Well, in the meantime, Randy said that Frank is the best tour guide. I agree. Frank was the one taking me around as well. Did you guys know Frank was actually, I think it's not, is it Tanked? Well, it's one of those
oh, really?
reality TV shows, one of those. And back then, whenever the crew would go pick up fish from like a wholesaler, it'll be Frank there. And Frank will be the one taking them out to the ocean and catch stuff too. So it was really cool.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you may see me at, I was like, yes, I remember you. So that was cool.
That's kind of sweet.
Hey, that's Stephen. What's up, Stephen?
From back in the day, I don't want any hate. I don't want to hear it. But back in the day, when we visited Tanked in Las Vegas, that's my son. with one of those, with the dude who lost his mind. But whatever.
Right.
Back then it was cool and it was fun, and my kid loved visiting that place.
You know what, man? I love that show.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was very much the same formula no matter what, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And the kid liked it a lot.
I think like even maybe like 2 years ago, I was still watching. I was looking up episodes from them on YouTube and catching up and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. It's weird, but I feel like how he is in person didn't really impact it too much because I realized that that's like the show as a persona.
Yep. I mean, it was for entertainment, right? Ultimately, it was for entertainment. So here's the project. Can we build the project? Here's the challenges of the projects. Oh, there's something went wrong at the site. Right. We overcame, and look how awesome it is, right? I mean, that was the formula for the show.
Right. It was a cool show. I enjoyed it.
Yep. What's up, Steven? Steven's on. Hobby Sci. Had him on last week, and he was awesome. Yep. That guy just knows everything about everything.
He absolutely does.
And Steven, thank you very much for your diagram on how I should, or somebody requested information on how to handle recircing. Is that how it was? It was recircing CO2 scrubber to drop down pH to a certain level and then turn off, that kind of thing, or up to a certain level and then you would turn it off so you would save your media. Seth says pink streaked RAS does pretty much the same thing as a 6-line without the aggression. Oh, that's good information. I have not seen a pink streaked. You still have your yellow, yeah? It disappeared, but it came back?
Came back. It was really weird, strangest thing. After 2 weeks, popped up for a day and then disappeared again.
Oh, really?
Went back to bed.
Oh, it's pissed. It doesn't like what you're doing to that tank.
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't.
I don't have a lid on my tank, and my 6-line has not launched. I have had other fish jump out of my tank right in front of me, and I've just put them back. But
nice.
Not the 6-line. Thinking about that. I'll research a bit tonight. Fragile, let me know what you come up with. I want to know. I want to know what works. So whatever direction you take for those nudies, let me know. Grow the shade or drag a breath together in a sump with the AI Fuge light. Yeah, Carlos. So Carlos is running a red AI.
Awesome.
I'm a blue photosynthesis kind of guy. So I grow. Carlos, you probably know this. I grow a Chaeto under blue Reef Brights, and it works just fine. Tag people in the chase. I would love to go GHL on my next build. Watched Hobby Sci. I don't think you are absolutely, AZ, you are absolutely smart enough to use a GHL. GHL just needs patience. Think like a German a little bit and realize that the way they have that UI configured is exactly the way you want it to be, and it works fine. So there's no science you have to know to use that thing. It's once you figure it out, once you spend a little bit of time with it, it makes perfect sense. Give it a shot.
You know, I mean, AZ Reefer, I feel you because I Jim multiple times. Things like, man, these things just complicated. What's going on? So I hear where you're coming from. So I'm trying to get to that point where I understand how the developers are thinking and get comfortable with it.
The more time, right? More time you spend.
Yep. It's getting a little easier. Like I was struggling a little bit setting certain things up, but once Jim talked me through, it's like, okay, all right.
And then Hobby Sci, right? Steven is the master of all things GHL. If any questions that I have for the units, I hit him up because I know he's already been there. Plus, the support forums are fantastic. The Facebook group is very thorough. The people in there all want to help. And GHL is in there as well. So if you get stumped, if you can't figure it out, jump in there and there's always an answer. Hit me up. If I don't know, I'm going to point you in the right direction. But there's a good chance I might be able to help you out. I wish Tanked wasn't so hokey. Bahama Llama, Remy says. Yeah, but I don't want to talk too bad about entertainment because Remy's kind of in entertainment. But, that's what entertainment's for, right? It's to keep people happy and keep them engaged and keep them watching until the commercials come on. Right, Remy?
I mean, hmm.
uh, Apex. AZ says he's a 40-year-old lineman. He can't figure out his Apex. I would figure out my Apex if it operated.
Oh.
Wait for tomorrow. I'm hopeful tomorrow the new one shows up and everything is good to go. Mine will run downstairs and then it just reboots and reboots and reboots and then comes back on. You guys are too kind. Nope. Started reefing 2.5 years ago. Yeah. So, yeah, Steven says we're too kind, but whatever. Mok-Yi and I both appreciate your big brain.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think he's a perfect example of somebody who does all the research and do things right. So even within like 2.5 years, he advanced so much,
Yep. Taylor King asked me about the Blaze X Mini. For the price, I would buy an AI Prime. You kind of get the same thing. It's the same wattage. But if you're in a country where the Blaze X is cheaper than an AI Prime, absolutely get it. That Mini works well enough. The app works well enough. The corals are responding to that light. So if an AI is cheaper, buy the AI. If the Blaze X Mini is cheaper, buy the Blaze X. It'll work for you. Is that fair? I think that's a fair assessment. Hipargero. Oh, Moki's you're the Hipargero guy.
Yeah, man, love that light. $60.
Yep.
Can't really beat.
So, yeah. So for me, Hipargero works just fine. Pixie 30 works great. I just took it off. I mean, that's what was lighting that tank there, and I just took it off today for that nano box to put that on there from Ken at Coral Frenzy. I'm checking out that light. He hooked me up with it.
What's the price point of the Pixie? I'm not too familiar.
$70.
Oh, so it's right there as well.
Yeah, so it kind of has the form factor of a AI Prime, but it has a dense matrix like a Kessel.
So nice shimmer.
It's a good light. It works fine. It's easy enough to control. The remote control's terrible. I mean, it's got 4 channels, and it's totally hokey, and I don't know where that remote came from. And you aim the remote at the power supply because that's where the infrared receiver is.
Okay,
so
okay.
It's totally, but it works. So if you need a cheap light to get you over, absolutely the Hipargero or the Pixie.
How many watts is the Pixie? Do you know?
20 or 30.
Okay, because the Aquanite Hipargero is like 60, right?
Did you put it on a kilowatt?
I have to check.
I don't know that I put my Pixie on a kilowatt. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Because I'm sure it's below rated.
Okay.
Same thing will go with the Hipargero. 1 a.m. Savage. Later, dude. I'm going to get Savage on one day because Savage took an all-in-one. Hit me up last year, right around Thanksgiving time here in the U.S. He wanted to turn his all-into-one into an overflow that would support a frag tank below. So he and I went back and forth a whole bunch. And one day he got the cojones and he drilled that tank out. And the drill punched through too hard and he broke that tank. So he went and bought another one. And he moved everything over to the new tank that he drilled out perfectly this time. And now he has an all-in-one with a frag tank similar to what I do with with pumping it up into the display, and then the display gravity drains down to the frag tank.
That's cool.
And it works great.
Yeah, you gotta get him on one day and just like talk about his setup.
Yep, and he's getting another tank built right now for another closet. Another closet tank, gonna be super big. It's awesome.
Did he say how many gallon?
I don't know. He said liters, so I'd have to look.
Okay.
I'd have to do that version.
You guys and your tanks in the closet.
Yep. You got to use the space that you're given. Asta 70. I don't know that light. Raphael mentioned the Asta 70. Interesting. Another cheapy light for me to go take a look at. Amazon 30 watt LED white years ago. Then went to the Kessel 380. And now I'm doing prime only because of the control. Yep, that's from Carlos. Redneck, nice save. Nice save because I just spilled my wine on myself and I pretended like I didn't.
Oh yeah, actually did. I thought he caught him too. Well played.
And it's dripping on me right now, but I'm just rolling right through it.
Show must go on.
Let's see. Let's talk. So I don't sell a lot, but I sold this week and I was pretty psyched about the sell. This is one of those Pink Floyd chalices. This is that Sunset Millie that I've been growing in my tank for a while that grows pretty well. This is what did Ben give me? Now I can't remember. This is that green tenuous. And this is something I can't remember. That kind of grows like a Monty. That I'd have to look up. And then that is so dude he really wanted a Walt Disney bad. But he wasn't satisfied with his skills yet. But I gave him this huge green tenuous, which is the same thing as a Walt Disney. I mean, if you can grow this. Remy's giving me a hard time because I sold some corals. Yeah, but well.
You didn't tell him the price yet, right?
I didn't tell him the price.
Okay.
They were reasonably priced. I'll say that. And then the dude has been cool. I met him once at a local meet. And this is a Walt Disney. And this is much smaller than I would usually sell. So I gave it to him.
Oh, my gosh.
So, nice guy, right? And I was like, I know you really wanted a Disney. And I respect your trepidation. But here you go. So I gave him this little guy for free. So does that even me out, Remy? I still have that Sunset Monty from you, and it's completely you know what, Mari? So Mari has a Sunset Monty that I have, and she's doing a better job at keeping it alive than I am. I can always take my spare. Carlos says he can take his spare XR30 G3 Pro and put in the Fuge and let it rip. Oh, you totally could. That's a little excessive.
That'd be quite a sight, though.
Put some little baby reef brights down there, and your Fuge will be just fine. It'll be totally happy. Yeah. So, Redneck caught me spilling my drink. That was what he saw. And Remy says I net zeroed.
Canceled out. You're good.
So I'm gonna work. Oh, this spill ain't that bad. Like it never happened. I'm gonna work on shipping next.
Oh.
Because I need to know how to do that. So what I need to learn, maybe Remy, you can help me out. Hey, John Curry's on.
Hello, John.
John, I like John. John and Mari, those two people right there. So here's how this works. Every time John, who you run CMOS, don't you? If not, you have friends that help you with that. One of the local reef clubs here, they have great frag swaps and sales. And they're always scheduled when I can't go. But luckily for me, Mari is a volunteer at CMOS, and Mari lives close to me, lives close to us. So I get up real early, and I fill a cooler full of coral, and I take it over to Mari, and she takes it to John, and we do some trading, and then Mari is always super kind to bring back stuff that John hands over for me to try to figure out and grow and see what's going on. And so far,
you guys got an operation going.
I like it. So far this last batch, and I don't know where you're getting those things, John. They look wild, and I think they are wild, but this last batch has totally survived. and they're very unique. What I always get from you is unnamed, very unique things, and I appreciate that. So thanks for what you do. Yeah, I would love to make it to one of your swaps, even if it was just to come and just hang out and see what's going on. That would be fun. Yeah, and then Mari oversleeps, but I knock on your door and eventually you wake up. It's fine. Yeah, Remy. So what I've been doing is anytime I've ordered anything online, even if it's just blackworms, like I just got from Eastern Aquatics here in Pennsylvania. By the way, if you need blackworms and your store isn't carrying them, hit up Eastern Aquatics in Pennsylvania. They ship next day. Prices are reasonable, and the blackworms are super healthy. So I'll buy a bunch of blackworms. It'll last me about 3 months, and then I just do another order, because that's all the copper band eats. And always good stuff. So there's my shout out for the stream, Eastern Aquatics.
Hey, I'm curious how you keep your blackworms alive. Do you keep them in like a tray or kind of like a little bucket in the fridge?
So my kid got a fishbowl a long time ago from Congressional Aquariums for a project he was doing in school, and that's where I keep them. So very little bit of water, blackworms with an air stone.
Do you keep it in the fridge or outside?
In the fridge.
In the fridge.
Yeah,
okay.
in the fridge in the garage.
And how often do you kind of like change out the water?
Every other day, if not every day. So I keep a gallon of Rhodey in the fridge. Yeah, cold Rhodey, and then I just do the swap, and it keeps them healthy, keeps them alive. So I keep them alive for 3 months.
Yeah, so that's impressive actually. Do you feed them at all, or you just kind of?
I should, but I don't.
Okay.
I'm too busy feeding them to the copper band to feed them.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah, Remy, I got a whole bunch of boxes in the garage that I want to do some shipping. When you start shipping, I will have to hit you up. Yeah, so I'm going to ship one box, and I've already promised an IG user a coral, and I'm just going to ship one box with one coral just because they're going to pay for shipping, and they'll get the coral for free, and we'll see how that goes. So that's my tester, and that's all the way out to the West Coast.
Yeah, looking forward to see what you learned, because I've been thinking about shipping things, especially when I'm selling rolls filled with anemones. A lot of people ask, I'm like, wow, can't ship, don't know how to ship.
I need a nem. I need to hit your buddy up for a nem for this tank for Ben's clown. Ben's clown needs a nem.
He got a bunch. Last count was like 28 or something.
Look, that little guy is bored. Look at him.
Poor okay, I gotta wait for it to pop up. I think it's a little.
You should be able to. Well, if you can't see Zoom, then yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Let's see. Baby rock flower nems, the size of a pencil eraser. Oh, hey Mari, I should hit you up because I have never had rock flower nems, and there's absolutely no reason why I couldn't put them in this tank. It's not going to eat Ben's big old storm clown. So that's cool. I would love to do that. Hobby Sai. Steven wants to know what our opinion is for dosing Phyto. Go.
I dose Phyto, mainly for the clam. The clam just soaks them up every time Phytos go in, just happily chugging water. So mainly it's for that. I dose maybe once a week or maybe like 2 times a week. But that's pretty much it. So I would do Phytos and oyster eggs. Those are my 2 favorites from Reef Nutritions. But I also do ROE. I think just like a mixture of different eggs, and also the liquefied mysis or mysis stored in liquid form. But those I feel like it's kind of optional. I just dose them since I have them. But Phytos I would do maybe like if I don't have clam, maybe once a week or like once every other week for maintain. But that's just what I do.
So I asked about dosing Phyto for the clam.
Yeah.
Not long after I got it, and both Richard and Reef Nutrition said it's photosynthesizing, giving it size, so you don't necessarily need it, right?
Yep.
But I still want to do it for the corals, for those tiny little polyps that'll totally eat that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't do it. I think it's recommended. It's one of those things that maybe you could do or maybe should do, but I don't have the experience. I have done it. But I haven't done it enough for consistently, and then the stuff expires. and I should do a better job about that.
Well,
John,
those are
go
pretty
ahead.
easy to grow as well. Like if you really want to start a kosher.
No, I'm not doing that. I'd rather buy the stuff from Reef Nutrition. That way I know
Mm,
what I'm getting, and that way I don't have to take care of anything and just do
true.
that right.
Yep.
John, did I give you, is it golden? We're talking about a millie that I gave him, and it may be a sunset. So let me know if it was golden. If so, that was a sunset millie. Remy says he's sending you a weeping willow when you're ready.
Yes.
I'll be happy to hold that for him, Remy.
I mean, eventually we'll frack in with sure for sure. So if you guys are doing some kind of like swap beforehand, then shoot it over to Jim's.
I'll be more than happy to grow that out for him. Sometimes that happens. Do you want one of his Space Invaders? Hmm? Maybe we can make that trade.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Mari's been growing those little rock nems. I've been seeing a whole lot of those. John says oyster eggs is a great food. John, what eats oyster eggs from Reef Nutrition? Is it the SPS? The SPS eat that up, or is it everything? Euphilia. I wonder. Green with yellow in my tank. It's green with yellow. I don't know what I gave you. Send me a picture if you don't mind. I don't remember. Reef Nutrition has free shipping deal going on. You know what? I should do that. I should make an order because they've been responsive. Yeah, so Fragile says Reef Nutrition has a free shipping deal going on.
Nice. Yeah, Chad's a good guy. Great guy. Great company.
Yep.
Solid products.
Since we're doing a Weeping Willow train, Steven jumps on. Woo! He wants a Weeping Willow. There you go.
Hopping on a train.
I'll do some shipping. You do some shipping. Steven will do some shipping, and we'll call it all good. And then we'll just put it all in Mok-Yi's tank.
Come on.
SPS, LPS in my tank. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I don't. So what I do is I do roids. I broadcast roids. I dump it in the frag tank when I think about it at night after the lights are after the lights are off. That's the extent of my coral feeding. Other than LPS, LPS will occasionally get, like I have a scolie from Ben that I'm growing in the way back of my tank. I don't think you can see it. Back behind those A cans is a scolie. If you look from the top down, you can see it. And I'll feed it because it eats like crazy. Your mushrooms, Mok-Yi, eat like crazy. Those
nice. Reflow or something else?
No, Coral Frenzy. They love Coral Frenzy. All of these LPS eat the crap out of the Coral Frenzy. They just take it all in.
Nice.
And that's some. I have always fed that to my fish and my LPS, and that stuff is great. Remy says 3 Weeping Willows coming right up. Oh man. Yeah, your mushrooms. Have you ever fed those things? Your psychedelic broccoli or whatever.
Yeah, I never like really target feed them, but sometimes food is just laying on them, do a close up on it.
Got it.
So I'm kind of surprised they actually react so much.
They take the food and they turn inside out, and they grab that food, and then they turn right side up, and then you're good to go. They inhale that food. Tub stellata. That's tub stellata was the one coral I couldn't remember that I sold to that dude. Roids, but so much pure. So you know what? So that's what I hear, that there's a lot of phosphate with roids. Maybe that's why it's interesting. Maybe that's why my phosphates are up. Whatever. Corals are happy. I'll just bring the phosphates back down and keep feeding roids. Interesting. Glad you mentioned that. That's probably what happened. Reef chili. I have done reef chili before as well. Aminos. This is from John. He does it 3 days a week. I do it every day. Oyster eggs once to twice a week. Interesting. That's a lot of food, John. I need to look at your pictures. What else you have? You got other cool stuff? Speaking of scolies, do you guys know much about fragging possibilities? No. I'm lucky to even know that it is a scolie. Because I don't know any of that stuff.
I'm right there with you. I know pretty much nothing about scolies.
Remy, what were you fragging? You did a fragging video. Was it scolies? It wasn't scolies. It was something else. Not Zoas. You did a big LPS fragging. Yeah, John. So same for me. I don't have to dose PO4. I have to dose nitrates, but not PO4, and I use lanthanum chloride to knock down the PO4 below 1. So I have to assume that's my feeding, which would make a lot of sense, given the amount of coral frenzy I put in my tank, because that's all I feed my fish. So there's that.
Oh, he fragged his scolie.
Did he frag his scolie? Oh, my, yep. Yeah, fragged his scolie. Hey, Steven, Remy, Steven, you guys talk. Because Remy, Bahama Llama Coral, did a series. I thought it was a 2-part. I think you did a fragging, and then you did a follow-up showing your success with scolie fragging. For NO3, for nitrates, I'm using Neo Nitro from Brightwell. That's what I started with, and now I'm chicken to change, so I just stick with it because I know the concentration that I'm getting every dose, if that makes sense. Because I know Travis is making up some stuff. I could make up my own stuff. It's really easy to do, but I don't know the concentration of neonitrate, so I just stick with it. Plus,
yeah,
Brightwell's good stuff.
Yeah, I've been using Travis stuff too, but I guess it's all the same thing, just different concentration, huh?
Well, there's 2 different ways to do it, right? There's whatever, one of them is potassium based, and the other is something else. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But there's 2 different ways to dose nitrates. I'm just sticking with that one. They grow back so slow, but it works. Does it eventually, Remy, does it eventually grow back round? Because Ben's, the one I got from Ben was a little bit unhappy, but it was fine. And I've slowly been growing it back, and it's starting to get, it was never fragged or anything. It was just unhappy. And now it's starting to round out really nice. And I was wondering if you cut them. I did. Half-lived. I wonder if you cut them, do they grow back round? Chummingham's Reef. I think you mentioned that before in your videos. Yeah, so John makes his own nitrates. Okay, so there you go. Remy says they round back out after he chops them up. I want to cut your psychedelic broccoli.
Cut it. I mean, just a pretty standard mushroom, right?
Yeah, Ben talked it well, other than it's completely beautiful and probably expensive.
It's cool. I got a couple more here.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I gave one to Lynn, Reef Nerd.
Yeah, just slice it, razor, straight down the middle. Make them quarters if you want.
Ben was talking about that. And then you just leave it, and then it turns into brand new ones, right? Like it just grows back full.
Yep.
I haven't done that yet. A tip was to give it something to reach for. Glue a pebble on the plug so it reaches. Scolie or mushroom?
Probably mushroom, I think.
After you cut the mushroom?
Probably instead of cutting, maybe.
Well, it's growing on a rock, right? So can I just slice it on the rock? And then it'll eventually grow back 2 or 4 from that slicing? Is that how that works? Yeah, I haven't fragged any shrooms, John. I just sort of let them go. Oh, I have. What's that one you gave me?
Oh, scolie.
No, mushroom.
No, sorry. Remy
says scolie. Okay. Yeah, I'm not cutting Ben's up. What was that mushroom you gave me? Super fancy. Mok-Yi.
Me?
Yeah.
Give you a mushroom?
Yeah.
Not a jawbreaker, is it?
Yeah, you gave me a jawbreaker. That's what it was.
Okay. That's easier. Just cut it up.
I have Ben's too.
Okay. Just cut his up.
It's not growing though. It doesn't like the tank. It's like Zoa's. I think it's just too much light. I have a problem with cutting corals. I don't know. I'd like to cut your damn rose bubble tip anemone in half. Stupid nem.
You could probably cut it too. Just right down the mouth.
Just reach in there with some scissors.
You got to get the mouth and the foot. Like straight down. You gotta line up.
I'm leaving it alone. Only pulled it once. Remy said, "Look," Remy says, "Do it." Remy, you need the psychedelic mushroom. Or with them boys on the West Coast, they call it something else, and they charge a lot of money for that. That's a beautiful coral. See, that's the coral I'd like to get the bubble up.
Yeah,
I think that'd be beautiful. Yeah.
Wait, are you gonna do experiment on it?
Yep, that's what these are.
Like UV. Nice.
UVs. I just need to put them on the Blue Sensei heatsink and be good to go.
Excellent. That would be exciting.
It would be fun. All right, that's all I have. I rolled into this hoping somebody would call in, so thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you for having me.
Certainly. And we walked through all this silliness. I didn't have a box to open, even though it's boxes and booze. Mok-Yi's in a little box, right? He's living in this little box right here.
There you go. That counts.
I was going to open up blackworms, but they came yesterday. Fiddling with the lights this morning. Already talked about that.
Fragile Reefer said, I want to put a trigger on a jawbreaker, but it's a lot of money for no bubbles.
I want to put a trigger on a jawbreaker and a lot of money for no bubbles.
But I feel like jawbreaker is one of those that's, for me, it's actually worth it because of how fast it grows and how bright and pretty it is, even though there's no bubble.
For that guy, it grows. For me, it just sits there.
Oh, okay, all right. And they like, I guess like if somehow they like the environment, they grow fast, and you can probably recoup your costs pretty quickly.
Tyler, a dude that Mok-Yi and I know, Tyler grows them like weeds. They just grow like crazy in this tank.
Yeah, I mean it's pricey, but it's not super pricey like the downs out there. So it's within acceptable range for something like this.
Y'all know how I price corals, right? Half. Whatever.
It's like a quarter.
I go find a price online, and then I charge half. That's what I do. That seems fair. I'm not retail. Fragile, where are you? Did we talk about this? I don't think we've talked about it. Where are you located? John, post a pic of the mushroom. I will. Or I have. But I'll find one. I'll send it to you. I managed to get... Oh, Steven got his hands on a wild Scully. Did you post a picture of it recently? I think so. He wants to frag that thing. Good luck. I'm too chicken to do that stuff. Russell says, I don't have a damn thing to do tomorrow. I might make the drive from Jersey so my wife can sleep and I can get that 20 empty for you. Russell,
oh my goodness.
If your bored ass drives down from Jersey, which is one of the states that's supposed to quarantine for 14 days, which means I'm not coming out of my damn house. But if you want to come down and clear out my 20, which is at least 2 Hollywood Stunners and at least 2 big bright green Monties, they're yours for free. Come and get them. DM me on Instagram. I'll be looking out my door.
that'll be quite a trip. Oh my goodness.
Connecticut. Pay attention to what I'm doing. If I start shipping, hit me up. Fragile's in Connecticut. Or if you happen to be driving to Florida, hit me up. because you'd be driving right by my house. Yeah, Steven, I saw that Scully, and that thing was beautiful. Did you see that, Mok-Yi? Did you look at his?
No, let's take a look.
And I'm still going to say, if y'all aren't following Hobby Sai, do it, because he knows what he's doing. 2, he's going to embarrass you. Not embarrass you. Yeah, that thing. He's going to remind you that you should try harder to make your system look better, because that thing is beautiful.
That is nice. Very nice.
Because his installation of his, not just his tank, but everything, and the light spacing and the tubing and the GHL equipment is all beautiful.
It's probably one of the cleanest setup I've seen.
Agreed. That thing is gorgeous. All right, y'all. It's 9 o'clock. We didn't open a damn thing. But we talked about the Reef Sensei.
That was sweet.
The Blue Sensei. I need to get my act together. Blue Sensei.
Jim Bright. That's
Do you want me to make? I'm gonna make you a fuge light.
Jim Bright.
Tiny little fuge light.
That'll be cool.
I need to find red heat sinks.
Oh, that'd be nice. Red and white. That's a theme.
Yep. All right. If y'all want cheap color up lights that'll make your Walt Disneys turn super orange or purple or whatever, I'll tell you what to buy. And then hit me up if you want an enclosure like this. If you want a complete light, I'm not ready to do that yet. But hit me up, and maybe I will be by the time you're ready, because I need to figure out how to waterproof the bottom, and I'm not there yet. But this is...
Uh-oh. Here goes.
And it can take a hit. So we got that going for us. Yeah. I like cool. I like these little things. I think they're fun to make. And oh look, I ran my battery down to freaking nothing. That's awesome. And over there's where I make them. So all that acrylic back there. Just waiting for a forever home. Hit me up.
I'm waiting for the video to catch up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Carlos, I always appreciate you hopping on. You know a lot of stuff, and I like watching what you do on Instagram. Remy, you're ready for Walt Disney? That's one of those things I can grow like weeds, so I don't mind making those go away. So if you're ready for a Walt Disney, you can be shipment number 2 if you would like.
I think he's ready.
You think he's ready?
I think he's ready.
Gallo, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Gallo says to be safe.
Thank you, Gallows. Be safe as well.
We shall try. All right. I think that's it. Mok-Yi, thank you very much. As always, I super appreciate you being here. I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate your mentorship. I don't care what you say. I learned a ton from you. When I was bringing up my 45.
I think you got my script.
Nope. Not at all.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me on, and always your guidance and mentorship as well. So.
And your positivity. You are absolutely, between you and whatever, you're very positive, and people note that, and it's magic, and that's the way it should be, and I appreciate that.
Cool. I like positive people. So.
Right on. All right, y'all. We're going to jump off. We're going to stop this stream. Thank you very much. Mok-Yi, you want to say anything? Oh, you got a video coming out. What's your video tomorrow? You want to pitch it?
It's going to be rock again. I mean, who likes rocks? But I promise this is the last one. We're done. Yeah, just check it out.
Is this the hanging rock?
That's hanging rock, the
awesome.
Crazy looking one. It'll be a fun one.
I can't wait for your escape. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that looks in the tank, ready to go.
I am curious and I'm nervous as well because
Yep.
there's no going back. Everything's cemented together, and they'll fall where they will be. We'll see.
I need to. In your video tomorrow, do you talk through that cementing process?
Kind of. There are a lot of videos out there already, so I didn't want to really recreate it too much, but I kind of touch on it.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
I use 2-part epoxy and super glue, and I haven't used the cement stuff yet, so I want to learn.
Cool. Yeah. If you want to try it, let me know.
Yeah.
Happy
right
to
on.
walk through it.
Cool. All right. Thanks. All right, y'all. Thank you very much. As always, happy reefing and be kind, everyone. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Night, guys.